Hey guys, in this video we're going to be doing 4.2, which is solve by substitution. In the last video we learned how we could find the solution if we graphed the equations. We were looking for the point where they crossed. But sometimes we won't have a graph and they won't be in slope-intercept form, so it won't be as easy. So this method, solving by substitution, we have to get at least one of the equations to be either x equals or y equals. So in number 1, we actually have both of them already at y equals. So let's just take the first one. It doesn't matter. Take the first one, and whatever y is equal to, I'm going to draw a box around that. So since y equals -8, I draw a box around -8. And then we're going to take that -8 and we're going to plug it in to the y in the other equation. So that -8, I'm going to plug it in to the bottom equation. And so it's going to be -8 equals -8x plus 8. And then I can solve this equation. So my first step would be to subtract this 8 from both sides. That gives me -16 equals -8x, because those cancel. And then divide both sides by -8. And I get 2 equals x. Now I have half of my solution. Remember, our solution is a point, and so we need both the x and the y. So if I look back at my equations, it tells me that y equals -8. So I already have the other part of my solution. So x is 2, y is -8. Number 2, my first equation is y equals 2. So I'm going to draw a box around the 2 because that's what y equals. And I'm going to take that 2 and plug it into the y in the other equation. So I'm taking out the y and putting in the 2. And that becomes -7x minus 6 times 2 equals 2. If you didn't put the parentheses there, it would look like -62. So make sure you always put that in parentheses. This is -7x minus 12 equals 2. Then we want to add 12 to both sides. That gives me -7x equals 14. And then divide by -7 to get x equals -2. So I know the x value. If I look back at my equation, it tells me that y equals 2. So the solution is the point -2, 2. All right, number 3. This time the bottom equation was y equals. So I'm going to draw, I normally draw a box, or you can circle, it doesn't matter. box around 4x minus 5, and I'm going to draw an arrow to the y in the other equation. So I'm replacing this y with 4x minus 5. So taking out the y and replacing with 4x minus 5. Everything else stays the same. First thing I need to do is distribute. So we have 3x plus 8x. And then also distribute to the negative 5. So that becomes minus 10 equals 23. Then we can combine the like terms. 8x and 3x is 11x minus 10 equals 23. And then I add 10 to both sides to get 11x equals 33. And then my last step would be to divide by 11. So we get x equals 3. So I have the x value of my solution. However, neither of my equation told me exactly what y equals. It did tell me that y equals 4x minus 5. And since I know what x is, I can plug that in. I know that x is 3. That's what I just found. So 4 times 3 is 12 minus 5. So y is 7. My solution is the 0.37. All right, now if you feel comfortable, you feel like you probably have the hang of it, try number 4. It's very similar. You do the exact same steps as you did in number 3. So number 4, I'm going to draw my box around 8x minus 7 because that's what y equals. And I'm going to take it and plug it into the other y. Negative 24x plus 3. Now I'm going to take out the y and put in 8x minus 7 equals 2. Negative 24x. Then I distribute 3 times 8 is plus 24x. And 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. And I'm seeing now, if you tried this one paused, you might have gotten a little confused because this one actually is a little different and I didn't realize it. Equals 2. So when you go to combine your like terms, we get 0x, which is just 0. So really, they just cancel out, leaving me with negative 21 equals 2. That's not true, and it will never be true. So this one is no solution. Number 5. I again have 2 equations that are both set to y equals. So just pick one, draw a box around one of them, and then I'm going to take that and plug it into the y in the other equation. So I'm taking out that y and replacing it with 2x plus 17, and that's equal to negative 3x minus 8. So we want to get all of the x's together, so I'm going to add 3x to both sides. So that gives me 5x plus 17 equals negative 8. And then I subtract 17 from both sides. And that gives me 5x equals negative 25. And then dividing by 5 gives me x equals negative 5. So we have the x. To find the y, go back to your equations. Y equals 2x plus 17. And I know that x is negative 5. So I can replace the x with negative 5. We get negative 10 plus 17, which is 7. So my solution is the point negative 5, 7. All right, the last one, pause the video and see if you can do this one on your own. All right, number 6, I drew my box around negative 2x minus 3 because that's what y equals, and I'm taking it and plugging it into the y in the other equation. Then when I solve, I get negative x. Distributing gives me plus 10x plus 15 equals 24. Then when I combine my like terms, we get 9x plus 15 equals 24. Then I subtract 15 from both sides. Give me 9x equals 9. So x equals 1. Then I'm going to go back to my equation. Y equals negative 2 times 1 minus 3. That's negative 2 minus 3, which is negative 5. So my solution is the point 1, negative 5. If you have any questions about any of these examples, just send me an email or ask me the next time you're in class.